Welcome to the Vibrant Life podcast. This is the official podcast of the Vibrant Life community. I'm Sarah Nolan, and I'm a burnout prevention and energy management consultant. And this podcast is about creating a fulfilling life of contribution and connection without the burnout or extra stress. And I'm here with Tim Johnson. Thank you so much for joining us, Tim.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
So Tim is a voiceover talent who works for companies like Ecolab, and he's also a DJ with True Masters. So he's got a voiceover talent company and a DJ company, and he has an amazing inspirational story about the self-discovery, finding himself and starting to live authentically in his career and in his personal life. So thank you so much, Tim. I'm really excited to hear more of your story. We were just chatting a little bit and to be able to share this with everybody who's listening.
Absolutely. It's really an honor. I'm glad you reached out.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us, where did this all begin? How did you realize that you weren't really living the life that you knew you could and that was really authentic to you?
Wow. So, again, thanks. It really occurred to me, and I think we spoke about this recently. It occurred to me going into it was about my 7th year in the public school system.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with special needs kids at a local high school. It's in inclusion areas. It's awesome. But it occurred to me during the summer. I was on vacation with my wife and some family members that I was being extremely selfish in who I am and where my life was going, because I wasn't happy with what I was, because I didn't know who I was. I had no clue of what my gifts were. I have no clue of what would make me happy, which would then help other people around me feel better about themselves, because positive energy normally spreads to other people as positive energy. That's the beauty of the universe.
And how did you know? What were some of the signs that you were seeing?
So blood pressure, number one. So my vitals were off. That got me thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sometimes I would just wake up, just in a foul mood for no reason. Because I had a great day the day before, wake up the next morning and just had just negative vibe about me. And and it all culminated to arguments, things of that nature, with my wife, and just silly things. Being selfish, not wanting to spend time with them, finding something else to do. And when we cut that off, when we went to the beach and we just got away from the world, I was just sitting by myself one day and decided to go outside, and I just took it in, man. It just hit me like, dude, you're in the wrong place, man.
Oh, wow.
You were in an absolutely wrong place. And then I just started thinking about things, try and find answers to why. And it all came back to me just, not knowing who I am, what my talents were. I'm a heck of an audio engineer. I don't mean to push my buttons, but I had no clue what audio engineering was, and
Wow.
what it is today, and how easy, well, I should say easier it is to understand it and really utilize it these days, as opposed to when radio was such a heavy element, and you had to go to LA or New York and Boston to get some type of training. It's amazing. But going back to figuring out where I was, that when all that happened, and I found out that I was the poison in the system.
Mm-hmm.
It really opened my eyes, and our relationship is better. I'm doing much better with being an entrepreneur, and and handling things, and speaking to people, and being around people who are successful, and it's just really done a lot. It's really done a lot.
Yeah. So it sounds you had some health challenges
I
that
did.
caused you to start rethinking things, and then you had this experience where you just kind of got away from everything and had some realizations about, beyond your health. Isn't it
Yeah.
amazing how a health challenge can trigger all of that? I had
Yeah.
similar thing happen to me too. It was like something you wouldn't not everybody would consider a major deal, but
Right.
it's just like a wake up call,
Yeah. 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 It really is. I mean, if if not anything, it makes you, it forces you, in fact,
Mm-hmm.
to realize, okay, my time on this planet is getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
If I don't
Yeah.
do something about this, okay, what's going on? What's causing the stress? And if you read up on, anything from heart disease to ulceritis, to a lot of different things, it comes a lot of it comes down to stress.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can control that stress and channel it into positive things like working with others, or working on something in the house, or something, just something positive, get
Mm-hmm.
down, type, write it out, blog it, something. You'll realize that communicating that will take a lot off your shoulders, and
Yeah.
you'll make you breathe differently. You'll look at life differently. It's amazing. It really is.
Now, how did you go from, living this life? You were telling me before that, everybody in your family worked in education in the
Yeah,
public school. So it sounds like you kind of just fell into that as well. And then you had this realization that that's not really who you were. You had
precisely.
more to offer. How did you go from that and not really knowing about audio engineering
Hmm.
to what you do now with voiceover and DJ stuff where it's all audio? Like, how
Mm.
did you make those connections?
So I played trumpet from sixth grade all the way through high school, and I was in the Navy, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in boot camp you had tryouts for bugler for graduation or whatever, and I was the actual bugler. So I mean, I could play trumpet, man. That was something I was really looking forward
You
to. I
have to
actually
do
got a
that on the next episode.
I
I would love to hear it.
haven't picked up a mouthpiece in 20 years, but it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
It's fine. I'll try to work on it for you. But yeah, music's always been around. I mean, I was singing in a choir at church, and it's just I always loved music, obviously, DJ and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So, but one thing about being trained in music, you hear things, and I I never put the two together, because being a voice talent relies so much on sound, obviously,
Mhm.
right? But there's so many different elements that comes into putting in a quality, really good sound. It's a really amazing. And first, I went to the voiceover research model, right? So I'm looking for who coaches, and do they have good demos, and are they authentic, and things of that nature, and reviews. And so I went that route. And once I got acclimated to microphone techniques and things of that nature, um, I kind of wanted to just dab around into the audio engineering side. Um, so I went to a conference in Atlanta 2 years ago. That was my first time going. I'm going back again next year.
Mhm.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's called VO Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
And I took what's called an X session, right? It's a 3 hour intensive, very intensive session with a limited amount of people. It's like 10. And so I had one of those with an audio engineer named Dan Friedman. He did my e-learning demo. As a matter of fact, he's tremendous, and he pretty much taught me everything I knew or know about audio engineering. And the best experience is actually involving yourself into it. So I mean, I just tinkered around with it. I record and produce, edit all that stuff myself, which actually saves voiceover talents a lot of money.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So, but yeah, Dan taught me for 3 hours, and not other people, obviously, but I really soaked that up. Just so happens he lives 2 hours from me.
Wow.
So I went up there and actually took some more classes with him,
Mhm.
because he's a voice talent, but he was an engineer first, so he knows all about tempering your area for sound and things of that nature, microphone techniques. And he also is really proficient in Pro Tools and audio, excuse me, Adobe Audition and things of that nature. So yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's how it happened. I researched. I figured out who I am. I mean, I get a lot of compliments about my voice. I used to brush it off like, okay, yeah, thank you, okay, thank you. But I was like, wait a minute, I could do a voiceover. What's a voice? I didn't even know what voice
That's
was.
funny.
We all grew up, watching cartoons and things of that nature.
Hmm.
People, that's voiceover. That's
Right,
voice
right,
actors.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, but I never really thought that. Well, e-learning is relatively new, to be honest with you, compared to voice acting like Disney and things of that nature. It's
Hmm.
relatively new, but it's extremely profitable. So that's why I'm really attaching myself to that. In the education background, it's just natural for me. But that that's my gist on that. But
You
um,
know, what that really reminds me of, with this path that you went on to do all this training with voiceover and with audio,
mhm.
is when you discover what you want, like most people don't know what they want.
Yeah.
And when you don't know what you want, you just kind of, you just kind of go with the flow, and you just end up where, and there's a phrase that I'm looking for here. Um, you live according to other people's expectations. You know what
Right.
I mean? It's like
Yeah.
there's no intention behind how you're living. But then
Yeah.
once you figure out what you want, then
Yeah.
it's like all of a sudden you have this inspiration to go and get the training and to attract.
Yes.
I don't know if you follow law of attraction and stuff like that, but like once you have those emotional pathways created, all of a sudden you're attracting these masters who are like right in your neighborhood. I mean, 2 hours
Mm.
away, right?
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And
Yeah. Yeah. So
so
go ahead.
how do you feel like you gained all of this awareness? I mean, some people would give
Mm.
anything to just know what they want.
Well, it took me 44 years. So I mean, don't be in a hurry, folks. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen overnight. I, I mean, the motivation. I guess it was just I knew I could do better,
Hmm.
right? And again, I mean, I guess I have to tie it into my relationship with my wife. I mean, I'm known. Let me put it like this: we met when we were 14 years old.
Oh wow.
Okay, we
That's
met we
kind of
met
like
at a
my
yeah.
husband and I too.
Oh, cool, nice. So I mean, you get it. I mean,
Right.
we've been friends forever,
Hmm.
forever, and right, and it just bloomed to blossom into a relationship. But um, I knew it. I knew she deserved better,
Mm.
right, and I could be better. And so that was I just got fed up, to be honest with
Hmm.
you. I mean, um, I'm a competitor,
Yeah.
and I don't like to lose, and I sure as heck don't like to lose people I love. So
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to go down that road.
You know, this reminds me of something so important. A lot of people, when they feel frustrated, they go automatically like, "Oh, think more like be positive.
Right.
We can get through this. Just like focus on the positive." But if you only focus on the positive, you're not going to get fed up. And
Nah.
so getting fed up and like having some of that anger inside of you
Right.
is justified, you're justified to be angry at the situation, and then you go do something about it. It's like
Right.
having that little dose of anger and frustration can be a good thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing like was it called organized chaos? You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
That type of thing, right? If I mean, we all get angry. I mean, it's just a part of
Hmm.
our chemical makeup. That's who we are. We're emotional people. I mean, that's why we're walking the planet, top of the food chain. We
Yeah,
get
yeah.
angry. I mean, it's just a part of the puzzle, but you have to control the pieces to the puzzle, right?
Right.
You have to organize that into, okay, what can I do to be better? I'm angry about this. I can't stand it anymore. What do I need to do to make this better? All right,
And
and
that's the
then start.
key right there.
Yes, yes, and then find out who you are, right, and what will make you a better person in the process. So
Hmm.
I guarantee you, these days you could probably monetize it. So I mean,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
just calm down. Think about
Hmm.
who you are as a person. What are your talents? What can you bring to the table to make everything else positive? The
Right.
negative will be there. That's just the way the world operates. But you can control the situation, right? You get frustrated.
Exactly.
Get frustrated. It's fine. Just don't stop.
Yeah, I love that. Don't stop. Just keep moving. And especially as these emotions can act as a navigation system
Yes.
where, the anger and the frustration and stuff like that can direct you into a certain area if you keep on moving, like what you just said.
That's so true.
So what are some of the tools and mental shifts that you made
Mm.
that helped to lead you into this much more positive and uplifting space that you're in now?
So I try to meditate
Hmm.
at some point in time. I live out in the country, so I'm lucky in that aspect. I'm in the great state of North Carolina. So
Oh, great.
I have, yeah, I love it. It's awesome out here. So I mean, sometimes I'll just go outside, right? We have two greyhounds, so I let them run around, and I'll just take it all in, right? I'll just close my. I mean, some people think meditation like you have to sit down and have incense and all that. It's not. It's a state of mind, right?
Right,
You just
right.
have to let go,
Hmm.
right? You just have to let go, rejuvenate, recharge, right? It can be 30 seconds, it can be an hour. I mean, it doesn't take that much for me because I could just, readjust because I have so much on my mind. Right. But at some point in time, you just recharge, just stop and just, especially outside, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. But if you can, just stop. Just try to clear your mind. Think about absolutely nothing, right? And just focus on the darkness in front of your eyes and just stop, right? Just breathe, right? 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90, whatever, right? And then just keep going, right?
It's amazing. I love you said 30 seconds. It's amazing what can happen in 30 seconds of silence.
Right, right. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. Sometimes I come in here and record. I'll just sit in the silence because it gets really quiet in here.
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
stop. Like, yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
And what were some of the biggest mental shifts that you made from, this time when you were working with the school system and now you're, out on your own with entrepreneurship?
Right.
How do you feel like you have changed in that process?
Um, wow. I'm still changing. There's so much to learn about being an entrepreneur, when being successful at it. But that's I would say the biggest mental shift was realizing that everything everything is on my shoulders, right? So
Hmm.
any type of slip up, I'm going to pay for it. So if anything, it's made me a lot more careful about what I do, and how I spend my time. Because working in the school system, you have a set schedule. I mean,
Hmm.
it is like regimented year round, da, 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 da. Except for June and July and maybe a little piece of August. But going to the shifting from okay, I'm going from their schedule to my schedule, well,
Right.
my client's schedule, I should say. So that's Monday through Sunday. It doesn't stop.
Hmm.
I mean, there's ebb and flows, but it doesn't stop. I'm communicating in some way, shape, or form. And I'm trying to hire some people to run some more aspects of my business. But right now, I'm the marketing guy, right?
Right, right.
So I got to take care of business, and that's marketing is a 24/7 type of thing.
Hmm.
I'll set posts up, a week, 2 weeks in advance, just so I can have time to work on content. So um, yeah, it's shifting that mental, okay, this is 9 to 5 type of thing or whatnot, or 8:30 to 4,
Right,
8:30,
right.
8:30 to 3:40, something like that. To whenever they need me, I'm here.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a biggie. That was a big shift. Yeah, definitely
Yeah, sounds like huge priority shift.
huge, indeed.
Hmm.
Because the school system is kind of about me because I have to show up, I have to clock in at a.
Hmm.
Well, entrepreneurship is it's about the client, right?
Right,
It's
right.
never about you, right?
Hmm.
It's about the client and what they want. Then you have to adapt to that and create and bring it. So yeah, that's that. Now I love the competitive aspect of it, right? Because
Hmm.
there's a ton of voiceover talent out there. But I don't worry about the talent. I don't worry about the competition. I'm just so tuned in on working on my skill set just
Mm-hmm.
getting better, you know. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that story with me. I feel like and with everybody watching, listening, I feel like a lot of people that I come in contact with either are or have been in that situation where something's out of alignment, and it shows up either as health, it manifests as a health issue or as a relationship issue where all of a sudden their marriage has fallen apart and they have to relook at, okay, what's going on in my life, not everything's really working, and then they have to go back to the drawing board. So
That's tough.
yeah,
That's
yes.
tough.
So one of my biggest takeaways from hearing your story, Tim, is just the simple act of getting quiet and reprioritizing and looking at, okay, what am I really good at and what do I really love naturally,
Yeah.
and going with that. And it sounds like that's really worked out pretty well for you.
Yeah. I didn't realize I was so attuned to audio and sound and music and
Yeah.
things of that nature. But it was just really right up my alley. It was amazing. I'm like, dude, wow, I didn't see this coming at all. I have a degree in psychology. I didn't even think about going to music, but especially auto engineering. But I mean, it really appeals to me. I love it. I really do. I love it to death. It's
That's
fun.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Is there
Thank
any
you.
last anything you want to let people know about, or do you want to? Is there anything you want to share with people?
Oh, so I don't know if you have any Carolina Panther fans.
Who is it?
I don't know if you have any Carolina Panther fans or
Okay.
viewers, but I actually host a podcast called the Four Man Rush.
Hmm.
It's a Carolina Panther based
Okay. Awesome.
podcast. So guys and gals, if you're watching, head over to the fourmanrush.com. And a lot of information there, and you can get some links and all that good stuff. And we drop a podcast every Thursday.
Beautiful. Awesome. Yeah. We'll put a link in there, the fourmanrush.com.
And also, guys, gals, don't give up.
Mm.
Whatever you do, please don't give up. You only got one chance at this. Seriously,
Yeah.
you only got one chance. And the people in your circle, they deserve to be around the best you. So don't give up, please. If you think you're not where you need to be, speak up. Do something seriously in a positive manner.
Hmm.
But don't give up, please. You'll
I love
you'll
that.
you'll be really glad you didn't.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I feel like that's some of the best. It's so simple, but some of the best advice anybody could give.
I appreciate it. Simple is
Yeah.
so hard. Simple is so hard.
Right. Awesome, Tim. Thank you so much. And thank you for everything you shared with us today. And everybody who's watching and listening, thank you for tuning in. We really value your time and energy. So we will see you next time.